Welcome to another episode of Coffee and Whiskey with Ivy. Can you hear me?
Not really.
Well, then I'll have to take this out and you guys will have to protect yourself. Sorry about that. Welcome to another episode of Coffee and Whiskey with Ivy. I've caught this terrible flu because I spent so much time in our wonderful global city, including going to the airport where it's full of germs. But I'm getting better, and I wore this to protect my crew. But now that I'm not wearing it, they are all wearing masks instead. So, best of the news, they've taken my advice to ban PMDs from pathways. But in the meantime, what do? We should license the PMD riders. They must take a code, like a pathway code, like a highway code, so they understand what are the rules and regulations when they use these vehicles. The other thing is we must license the PMDs as well, so that they have a license plate and we know who are the ones who are causing the problem and they can be arrested and punished, right? So in the meantime, we just have to be a bit careful and a bit kind to people who need to make a living or who need to move around on these PMDs. I'm sure many of you would have noticed in the Straits Times of 2nd of November the number of advertisements regarding condominiums. Page A3, Midwood. Page A5, Midtown Bay. Page A7, Riverfront. Page A9, Affinity. Condominium here, condominium there, condominium everywhere. Now, why are we building so many condominiums if our population is not growing? Right? Who are we building these condominiums for? For transient people like nurses and teachers, etc., who have to work here? Or are we just building it for foreigners to buy so that they can rent out and then make a killing when they sell it later on? Because our country doesn't have capital gains tax. So who are we really building all these condominiums for, Mr. Housing Minister? As this topic is something I'm sure you are all interested in, this will be the poll question for this week. Should the government continue allowing more and more condos to be built? Yes, why? No, why? What should we include into our land use instead of condominiums? You can give us any of your ideas because we want creative ideas. We want interesting ideas. Please go to the link and give us your answers. Thank you. This is the result of last week's poll question. Should children be forced to study their mother tongue? 37.5% said yes, and as usual they say it is important because your mother tongue has culture, blah 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 and all that, okay? Now 62.5% said no. They said children must learn and enjoy the process of learning. Language is not taught by forcing the child. Mother tongue is not Mandarin. In fact, your mother tongue is either Cantonese, Hokkien, Teochew, Kek or whatever. So, quite a lot of good thinking people replying to our question. The answer to the other poll question, should children be allowed to study a language of their choice? We got 100%, a total resounding endorsement that we should be given free choice. Are all the people wrong? I wonder. Now, two good stories about these two young sisters, Sophia and Anjali Kurik, 10 and 12 years old. They're developing a program to help the visually impaired cross the road. You know, even our young are thinking of helping people in need. Schemes to help youth cultivate green fingers. Peter Lim, thank you very much for giving $10 million for this initiative, for the NParks to have this program to teach young children how to plant and build gardens, etc. You know, my generation were brought up in nature. We were taught hunting, fishing, doing all sorts of things, but always in the open. And I believe that is why we are such a powerful generation. We should use this and make another powerful, rugged generation to grow up in Singapore. 30,000 trees to help beat the heat on Jurong Island. You know, why do we have to spend all that money to build all these trees? And I wonder what type of trees they'll plant. All the prim and proper PAP trees, or sustainable, useful and productive SUP trees. In fact, we should just allow the land to be fallow, put some shit on it and sunshine and soil, and watch it become a natural forest. The New Yorkers are doing a really good thing to ban foie gras because of cruelty to the goose. Imagine if I catch you and force feed you, and so that your liver becomes how many 100 times the size. It is absolutely cruel. In fact, we as the human race should stop practicing cruelty. It was a big decision whether I choose the pandan or the papaya. Both are absolutely useful, but the papaya wins because it's called the medicine tree. In fact, the leaves, I believe, can be used to help prevent dengue, or if you already had dengue, it will help you get better. It helps your skin, it helps your liver, it supports digestion, reduces blood sugar. The flower, this is only from the male tree, because like the men, they're all hanging around quite useless but looking beautiful. This is also can be made into salads. And the fruit, the green papaya, can be used for so many things. If you are going to have a child and you don't have enough milk, you take this and it gives you milk. If you cannot have a good shit, take a small piece of this with the skin, blend it, drink it, and it is like dynamite. You do not need any probiotic. You can eat it as a salad or just slice it up without the skin, fry with tomato and onions, and it's brilliant. So if we can only grow one tree in our garden, we should grow the papaya tree. Thank you for watching another episode of Coffee and Whiskey with Ivy. Please remember to subscribe so that I can share all these good things with you.